good evening, everybody, and thank you for being here today. We've got a nice full gallery. We don't normally have that. This is our very first meeting where we have a public meeting before the actual. Back in the old days, you will be part of the meeting. We are going to recess and I'll be talk. So at the moment, we've got Councillor Kidd and Councillor Morris are running a bit late. Councillor Maidens online. Councillor Nardi and Councillor Tiffin are apologies. And so they're the councillors tonight. So what I'll do, I'll just give you a quick blurb of what we're going to do properly here. Public forums must be a live stream via the council social media channels or a link to the published for the council website. Speakers have a maximum of 3 minutes. A councillor, including the chairperson, may, through the chairperson, ask questions of speaker following their address of the public forum. Questions put to the speaker must be direct, succinctly, and without argument. Speakers are under no obligation to answer questions put to them. Answers by the speaker to each question are to be limited to 3 minutes. Speakers of public forums cannot ask questions of the council, councillors, or council staff. Where an address made at public forum raise matters that requires further consideration by council staff, the general manager may recommend that the council defer consideration of the matter pending for the preparation of the further report of the matter. So thank you very much, and I might ask Mr. Travis Irvin to come forward and give your first 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thanks very much for the opportunity to speak tonight. So my name is Travis Irvin. I'm the chair of the Leeton Association of Community Builders, and I'm here tonight to speak about the development of a community centre in Drummond Street, Leeton, that has been the concept of the Leeton Association of Community Builders formed in 2021, and the stakeholders in our incorporated volunteer association come from many facets of the Leeton community, and our focus is to improve outcomes for the low socioeconomic segment of the Leeton community. And with that, central to that is the development of a community centre in Drummond Street, Leeton. The purpose of that is to collaborate with education, health, wellbeing and police to further the outcomes of the low socioeconomic community here in Leeton. We believe that there's a significant gap in service that can be provided by the development of a facility in our town, and programs that include but are not restricted to early childhood programs, adult learning, focus groups, drop-in centre, youth groups, and a range of other potential programs that could be used in our facility that we are developing are pivotal, and we're asking this evening for further support of council following the commencement of our development. So we've been able to secure a $250,000 grant through the New South Wales government through the Building Stronger Communities grant, which we're at the point of exhaustion for stage 1 of our build. And we're looking for further support from council to make the community centre become a reality in Leeton sooner rather than later.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you very much for that speech. Any questions from council? There must be succinctly and direct without any arguments, please.
Could you state the amount of money you're seeking as this?
Would be looking for a figure of $200,000.
Project cash flows for how you might.
So we have a clear building plan in place. Thank you.
Any other questions of Mr. Travis Irvin? Councillor Edwards?
I think my question is actually more appropriate in the actual meeting than to Travis. So,
all right, it will be to council staff member, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's all right.
It's my understanding, Mr. Irvin, that you have a range of not-for-profit organisations pre-booked, as it were, to use the space as outreach. So, and you're intending for them to pay a fee for that.
So certainly there will be the opportunity for the stakeholders to invest properly in terms of the rental space to use the facility. That's right.
Right, Councillor Maiden online now. Make sure I don't miss out on you. You okay?
Yeah, I'm all good. Thank you, Mayor.
Well, thank you. All right. All right. Any questions from any of the councillors? Well, thank you very much, Mr. Irvin, and thank you for the time. Thank you very much. Thank you. Our next speaker is Miss Karen Bradley, who like to come forward. Thank you. You're amongst friends.
You don't have to lean on me. Do you want to?
No, that's fine.
Look at something else instead?
That's fine. I just want to begin by, I won't introduce myself, apparently you all know me, so I've only got 3 minutes. I'd like to begin by making it clear that I'm not opposed to the proposed medium density housing development. I recognise Leeton is growing and that thoughtful development is necessary to support the growth. Preservation of essential. Affect the removal of the existing dog park without a replacement facility being established and operational. Alongside over the thousands of years they've lived with us, they've made adaptations to the way they coexist with us so that they can become better adapted. But that's all happened very, very slowly over thousands of years. In the last probably 40 years, that change has been quite rapid and it's made a great deal of difference to the behaviour of many dogs. We now have to have them on leads all the time. That wasn't the same 40 years ago. They've been denied access to the local river, an area where a lot of dogs used to run and be dogs and just do dog things. So they've been denied that, but they still need for dog behaviours. They need to interact with other dogs to learn socialisation, to learn how to behave around other dogs. Much aggression is created by not allowing dogs to be dogs. I can still say that. So the dog park being nice and large like it is, and our council's to be commended for providing us with a nice large dog park. It allows dogs to do that. They can successfully get away from other dogs in that dog park. I've been going there since council first deemed it a dog park and I've never had any problems there. Not saying there's not problems. You can have problems when dogs interact with dogs. But I recently visited the Narandra Dog Park and they have a sign there saying, you know, you've got to be responsible for your dogs while you're here. You've got to pick up their poo and you've got to watch your dogs. I always say when I'm training dogs, you're on a date with your dog when you take it out for a walk. The dog gets your full attention. You're not there to listen to your music and play with your phone while you're walking your dog. It's not that sort of activity. You need to be on a date with your dog. So that's the sort of commitment a lot of dog people have for their dogs, and that's what they do. They should do when they're at the dog park.
Thank you.
Also, one more thing. I read your development application and I noted there'd been an environmental impact study. There was no mention of the superb parrot. I was fortunate enough at the beginning of September last year to come down there very early one morning and I witnessed and videoed a large flock of superb parrots feeding down. So that should be looked into further. What I'm looking for tonight is commitment from the council that they will provide us with an up and running dog park of significant size and with all the necessary amenities for dogs to be able to do dog things and keep the community safe.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you very much. Any questions of Karen? Councillor Fine.
Karen, it can be said that dogs have tamed humans.
Yes.
That's a very valid point. You're a vet nurse, and I'm sure you've heard many conversations I'm wondering if you can provide comment about the broad sentiment on this. So general thoughts, like what is the sentiment out there
About the dog park.
about the dog park? This
It's
matter.
used by more people than you would imagine. There are people, I'm a dog trainer as well as a vet nurse. So people often talk to me about the dog park. When I go down there, I meet a lot of people. People come from out of town. I was, ABC Radio rang me the other day and did a short interview, what I felt about the dog park. And the young girl that was interviewing me lives in Wagga but has family in Griffith. She takes her dogs with her to visit her family on the weekend and chooses to use Leeton Dog Park because it's a significant size, it's shaded, it's got good water, good facilities. So she uses it. Lots of other people, met people who are caravanning that come to Leeton Dog Park because it's got a good reputation. So
I've heard it said in my conversations with people that a dog park for medium to large dogs would be appropriate and a smaller one for smaller dogs.
Yes,
So
yes.
the relationship between small dogs and medium to bigger dogs is not particularly friendly.
no, it's not that. A lot of the dogs have different characters to bigger dogs. They get frightened by bigger dogs. There are also some big dogs that might use a small dog park because they want to be around the bigger dogs but not interact directly with them. So they have, in Naranda, they have a small dog park area and a larger dog park area. They have a double gated system, which I would recommend.
I would imagine that a lot of the elderly people that have small dogs as companion pets,
Yeah.
they wouldn't like to be going to a large place with young people and big dogs.
No, there's plenty of small dogs come down there and with the big dogs. Everybody here who's got dogs will tell you that. The big, they stand up and say, hey, we want a dog park. We want to make sure we've got a dog park before the ground is broken on the old dog park. Yeah.
It seems to me that even though we only had a few representation submissions, that your words speak for a much broader segment of society.
Oh, yes,
that we're aware of.
absolutely. Well, I often use the park twice a day. There are many others that use it twice a day as well.
Good. Any more questions of Karen? Councillor Wright.
Sorry, I did this.
That's all right. You go first.
Councillor Wright first and Councillor Edwards second.
Karen, thank you for coming to speak today. It sounds like, I mean, I know that we've discussed this before as a council and we're definitely committed to having a replacement dog park before the other one is closed.
Yeah.
Assuming that everything else goes ahead. But it seems like it's an opportunity to bring new ideas to the concept of it. I mean, just mentioning the double gate.
Yeah.
Are there any other sort of innovations that you think we should consider?
Look, in America, and I've been doing lots of study on this, I'll show you a copy of my actual speech. I've printed out a few of them because I only had 3 minutes, so I've basically summarised it. But it talks of my qualifications, and I've actually done some study on dog parks. So in America, they actually have landscape architects that specifically design dog parks. There's a lady called Alexandra Horwitz. She's a professor at a university, I think in LA, and she runs the Dog Cognition Clinic. Now, one of her talks I listened to just recently stated that there was a great big development somewhere in LA and they couldn't sell all the housing. And as soon as, probably half of it, as soon as they opened it up and said, yes, you can have dogs, people flocked to buy that land.
Yeah.
And then they realised they needed the dog park, and now it's the poster child for developments in that area.
Yeah.
Dog ownership is very big. It's probably bigger than you think. People want what's best for their dogs. It's a growth industry. And there's an opportunity, as you said, for Leeton Council to lead the way.
Well, I would just ask you, when you, in the next however long, would you please consider different ideas and maybe emailing the council about it?
Oh, good.
That would be really helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you can try, councillor Edwards.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just have a couple of questions. What is I know in the speech you said that where the current dog park is, it's actually quite a large size. Is that an ideal size for, larger breeds, especially the minimum size?
Size
Which
dog with an adjunct for a small.
I thought you would say that because I know a lot of other dog parks in other council areas are much bigger, especially along the coast, and they cater properly to different dog sizes. I guess also too, if it were to move, what would the requirements be for dog owners? Does it need to be near central locations? Does it need to be near towns so people can walk the dog to the dog park?
Those are things that would have to be discussed.
Yes.
I think you need to identify potential areas for a dog park, identify and decide what sort of design, get people involved that are interested and want to make the right decisions for their animals. Like myself, there's another dog trainer in town, I believe. There's the veterinary industry. There's lots of people with skin on the ground, I suppose I would say. And those are the people that you need to be talking to. You really need to know what's on. But going back to your previous question, you wanted to know what we wanted in a dog park as well. Yeah. So it needs shade, it needs water, it needs adequate fencing. I've been to the Yanko Dog Park. There's been a lot of escapes there. I can see there's bricks shoved under the fence and little bits of tin put across so the little dogs can't get out. It's way too small for big dogs. You get 10, 15, 20 big dogs in there, you're going to have behavioural issues. You're going to have fights. And that's going to cost your council too. But you've got a ranger that needs to be around to sort some of that stuff out.
One more question, Mr. Mayor. I just want you to reiterate why it's important for council to ensure that we were to rezone the dog park, that there is that ironclad guarantee that there is going to be another dog park that's of a bigger, if it's like what, because the tonight's proposal is around the rezoning of the dog park that you want from council, like, what type of commitment? Is it a definite
commitment to deliver a new, fully operational and fit for purpose dog park before closing the existing one? Conduct and release a detailed environmental impact assessment regarding the superb parrot habitat and engage meaningfully with the community in selecting, designing and replacing that.
I just want to reiterate that, just make sure that everyone got. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Karen.
Councillor Matum, you want to say anything? No? Good. Well, first of all, Karen, thank you for your passionate speech tonight. And thank you for all your hard work you do. And also the gallery. I know each and every one of you have dogs. I've got dogs of my own as well. I'd just like to point out this particular council and previous council have always backed dog park. We've got 2 dog parks because previous council and this current council are dog park friendly people. And I dare say if we do come to the point of putting a dog park, we will be going to a dog park. But I would like to see maybe a small committee put together and look at it, something like that down the line. But it goes without saying, although you'd like to have it said, that we will be looking at the dog park for sure. We hear everybody.
Just to get through you,
Yeah.
members. Can you ask her if would she be able to be the conduit for?
Yeah. I did been asked the general manager, which is a great good idea. Through Karen. Karen, can you just get everybody's name and have the conduit via you so we can talk to you and via the people in the gallery? You happy to do that?
It's in my name.
Yeah, if you can gather the names of the people in the gallery, yeah, and we can be your conduit in regard to this going forward. Yeah. Are we happy with that? Public happy? Yeah. Like I said before, this particular previous council and this current council has always been dog park friendly, and we know the need for it, and we will certainly be looking towards doing something on that lines. All right, now, I might call that, we'll close the public part of it. We can't start the public part until 6:30. So it's another 10 minutes. It's a new way of doing things. But thank you for your time. Thank you, gallery. It's really great to have somebody in the gallery for the very first time. Thank you.
Do you mind if we take a
Can
photo?
we take a photograph, please?
I'm not making a photo.
I might just double check if Councillor Mason there. Councillor Mason there?
Yep, I'm here. I have started the video, but for some reason it's not showing up.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. Because I was visible in the last part of the meeting.
We're visible before it has to be visible.
Well, how do we know it's you?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to work this one out purely
Okay.
because all I did was turn my camera off and turn my mic off, and then I've just turned it back on. And there's no image. So just give me a moment and I'll try and work this out.
All good to go.
Start with no video.
Might just grab someone with a bit more tech capacity than myself, so just bear with me.
Crystal, you might want to just log out and dial back in.
Yeah, that might be.
That usually fixes it.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, because I didn't log out from the last one. I just stayed in. So I'll do that. Okay, no worries.
Okay.
I'll jump back in.
Hey, we're live now. Hang on.
Probably a start.
Turn it back off.
Yeah, I'll just wait. I'll just wait.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
That seems
Thank
to
you,
work.
everybody. Good evening, everyone, and I now call Leeton Shire Council February 2026 Ordinary Council meeting to order at the time being 6:36. I would like to extend a warm welcome to the councillors, staff and the community via the camera and also in the gallery. Please stand while Councillor Tynan leads us through the
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Leeton Shire Council acknowledges the Wiradjuri people and their continued impact on our community. We acknowledge their connection to the land, water and sky. We acknowledge all Aboriginal people who have made Leeton Shire their home. And as such, we pay our respects to Aboriginal elders past, present and emerging of our Shire.
Thank you. Please be seated. General Manager, are there any apologies of councillors attending the meeting via video conference tonight?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Firstly, in regards apologies, we have an apology for lateness from Councillor Morris. We have an apology of absence from both Councillor Tiffin and Councillor Nardi. And then fourthly, we have Councillor Matum attending online tonight due to illness. Thank you.
Thank you, General Manager. Please can I have a move and a second of that? Moved by Councillor Tynan, second by Councillor Wright. All in favour? Those against? I declare it carried. Moving on to confirmation of the minutes and any matter arising from the minutes. The recommendations are there in front of you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just councillors, Councillor Tynan contacted me. He wasn't in attendance at the last meeting, but having reviewed the minutes and the original agenda that went out, he has requested that in regards to the FSAC committee meeting results, the intent is very much about requiring these changes to happen, not just requesting groups to put in applications and give acquittals. It's a suggestion that the word gets strengthened from request to requires, And I was comfortable to bring that to council because I believe that addresses the intent of what the original report was about. So if council is of a mind to agree with this, then that one item, the word request, would become required in the final set of minutes.
I would have a problem with that, General Manager. Because
I need a move in a second there before we can debate it. Moved by councillor Tynan, second by councillor Edwards. Any discussion?
my problem is requires means that council must. And anything from the FSAC has to be legal, and it must comply with all acts, including Local Government Act. And I think requires is too strong a word. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'm just relaying the view. So this is already a resolution of council to request all organisations. So that's resolved. So I'm happy, Mr. Mayor. I hadn't intended that the whole matter would get redebated, but officially council agreed at the last meeting that it would request all organisations, and I suppose the intent was that this now becomes the new way of doing business. So, council, from a legal perspective, I'm unsure that request or requires changes things legally, but that's just a comment from me. If councillors prefer, we can bring this back as a separate report then. If you have concerns about requests becoming requires.
Councillor Wright, go.
Mr. Mayor, to the
Gentleman.
it would seem to me that regardless of what the word is, when it comes to a committee like making recommendations on a grant and the council voting on those grantings, whenever that happens under this process, if they haven't done what they've been requested to do, they're unlikely to receive the grant. So there are many more checks and balances after this process. So I'm fine with either one, but it seems like shouldn't be an issue.
It wouldn't change the process, correct? Yeah.
We're having a bit of a debate here whether these are the minutes which were to be passed. Maybe we're going to change them. I'm not too sure that in the system motion.
Well, it really it is of it's a minor change, but it does make it clear that something's mandatory as a would you like to? But at the end of the day, Councillor Tynan submitted a notice of motion. I didn't feel that a notice of motion was warranted because the change was so minor, but I'm happy for Councillor Tynan's notice of motion if he's agreeable to come back next month instead. Yep.
Councillor Tynan.
So, okay, could I please have clarification on Councillor's exact objection to this? I don't quite grasp it. Exactly as I said, Councillor. Requires means that you're forcing people to do that. It then overrides everything else. It's just as simple as that. I think request is a much nicer word, and I think it's more appropriate, more suitable. I respond to Councillor.
Yeah.
The word request is nice. And I think there are cases where people have ignored council requests. I recall somewhere, I think it was the Leeton one club, I can't remember, they were requested to provide information for a financial offering from council, but they refused that request. It seems to me that it's about time that a council actually treats itself with respect in how it deals with money going to the public, and expecting the public to treat the council finances and general rates payers money contributions with respect. It's a two-way street. And so I completely reject the nuance associated with the request and stand my ground on requires.
Mr. Mayor, just from a procedural point of view, this was a resolution of council, and I think it wouldn't be appropriate to re-debate it. So it's probably best that it's left as it originally was, resolved last time, and we will bring back Councillor Tynan's notice of motion next month.
All right then, so we'll move on. Now that says the table. What do we do with taking off the table?
Sorry.
Councillor, right?
I just have a procedural question, Mr. Mayor. A motion was moved.
Yeah.
Seconded. So are we just pretending that didn't happen?
Yeah.
What's going on now, right now?
Well, we're changing the minutes, so just
Yeah.
get some direction here.
So it's through you, the motion was moved to change the minutes.
Yeah.
There's not full agreement. It's not appropriate to re-debate an item from a previous meeting. So it's not a motion. It's not a motion in a typical sense of a recommendation that then becomes the motion. It was to be a minor adjustment minutes, because from the staffing perspective, we have interpreted this as you have to do it. So we just thought we'd clarify it after Councillor Tynan contacted us. But if it's to be relitigated, if it's not full agreement, it's better to bring it back. We can't re-discuss something on the floor, from the floor that hasn't been a report.
But a motion was put forward, so someone's got to withdraw it or something. With respect to management.
Yeah.
I think you.
I'm going to talk about this.
We can have some kind of resolution to that process that started.
I'll just, Councillor Edwards had his hand up and Councillor Kidd had his hand up.
Councillor Wright asked my question.
Right, Councillor.
I'm happy just to record my opposition to that, if that makes it easier. Sure, if that would.
All right. So the motion is on the table. And your motion was to change that word. I'll just ask a question first.
Going to notice submission at next.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, we probably shouldn't have moved and seconded it. It's not a motion for debate. It's confirmation around a particular minute.
Right.
So it can't be moved and seconded for debate. So at the end of the day, if it's not unanimous, let's bring it back to council to discuss as a separate motion.
It sounds like meeting procedures is not illegal, but it can't be done because it can't be done.
Mr. Mayor, does that mean we have to just have just separate that out and have a normal motion to confirm the minutes?
Correct.
With change proposal?
Correct. Yeah.
We should still pass that motion though.
Yeah, and then we can come back next month and then debate that
change.
Yeah, correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
We'll bring it back.
So the minutes, if you pass and second this now, the minutes will be as the minutes of that meeting, right? And then next month, maybe a councillor might bring forward a motion for those minutes.
Well, it wouldn't be the minutes, it would be just a request to change procedures or something.
Yeah.
So we'll seek advice.
Good.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right. So the motion at the moment in front of you is up there. Does the yellow go out and the?
It's just the recommendation now of the minutes, the ordinary council meeting.
We need a move and a seconder for all the minutes.
All right. Moved by councillor Wright, seconded by councillor Tynan. Any discussion? All in favour? Say aye. Those against? Thank you very much. Thank you. We'll get there. All right, that was confirmation of the minutes arising. Any business? Now we've got procedural motion. There are no procedural motions this evening. Therefore, councillors, are there any disclosure of interest this evening? Reminder to please stand when you're declaring a disclosure of interest. Thank you, son. Councillor Maitland, thank you. Thank you, councillor. Since there is no mayoral minutes either, this evening we'll we'll move on as reports to council. So our first report to council is general business. Tonight, the first one is item 8.1.1, which is the planning proposal of Brobenah Road, page 6 of the agenda. There is a recommendation from staff in front of you. Do I have a councillor Tynan?
I'd like to move.
Or 4 points?
I'd like to make an amendment to include the 5th point, which is up there in yellow. I'd like to include the amendment that council resolves to commit to having a dog park operational before any development on the site, having engaged with dog park users as to its location and design.
Do I have a seconder for that, councillor Edwards? Do we have any discussion?
Yeah.
Councillor.
Mayor, is amendment 5 actually necessary? It's already in the all the documents. It's in the operational plan for more than 12 months. It's in the consultant's report here. Why is it necessary? I mean, I don't object to it, but I just don't think it's.
That's a comment. That's a comment. Councillor Kidd, a comment. There's a comment.
Yeah, to Councillor Kidd. I've moved this because there is a bit of vagary associated with how council's communicated this. I'd like to note that on page 62, it states that any prior to any redevelopment it is intended. Okay, intended. Now, if you go further into the document, with respect to section 9.33, further down there, the wording does change to be more. We commit to doing this. So all I'm doing here is presently to communicate to the public that the council is committed to do this, because there has been a lot of possibly misunderstandings, although I'm aware that council has committed to doing it. I'm simply doing this to telegraph to the community that we're listening to them and we're taking it seriously.
As a comment, all right. So I've had a move in a seconder. I had some discussion. Is anybody opposed to this motion? All right, I'll put the motion. All in favour, say aye. Those against? I declare it carried. Thank you. Moving on to budget review, quarterly report 3, page 66 on 8.1.2. The recommendation is that the quarterly review considers quarterly budget review at the 31st of September 2025 and approves the changes as recommended by management. Do I have a movement second? Moved by Councillor Tynan, second by Councillor Wright. Any discussion?
Just have one question that relates to the $13,000 for tree trimming and tree removal. Is that the result of a tree safety audit or an ad hoc occasion where branches fell down and you've clobbered someone?
Can the manager or director please?
Are you happy to answer that?
Both.
It was a planned room, and yes, you're correct, a tree did fall. It fell over the insurance nightmare. That was a planned prune.
Yeah, so just to be very clear, the limb that fell after this quarterly budget request was put in. So the audit was done by professional arborists as a matter of urgency, work health and safety point of view. That was done well in advance, not well in advance, it was done in advance.
Mr. Mayor, I might add to that if I may.
Yes.
I'll just add to that for Councillor Tynan's information. We had a Kajildri committee meeting on what night was it?
Wednesday? Thursday.
I think it was Wednesday, Thursday night on site. We did actually inspect that tree. It's been cleared away from the fence partially. The tree sits on a significant angle. It's also threatening to crush other infrastructure. And it's a very, very unhealthy situation and not a particularly nice tree either, to be quite honest.
Get council right?
No, I was just going to ask Mr. Mayor if that's the tree we're talking about.
Yeah, that's the tree, yeah. Councillor Wright and Councillor Kidd and myself went out to Gouldiware for their meeting out there. It was very nice to meet the caretakers. We enjoyed their company. We walked around. We saw a lot of things, potential and things that need to be done. So that was good.
For about 4 hours, I think, man.
We were. Got a bit hungry.
Oh, man.
So, any,
Just a minute. That's just one tree, or there are some?
There are just some.
Through the chair, there are, in fact, I think 14 trees in total. Having, they are, by their nature, the gums going to drop limbs, and when we get dry periods like this, it drops them quicker. The idea is not to have any drop.
Mr. Mayor, we've been requested by the gallery to please use our microphones. People can't hear everyone speaking. So not sure how well they're going to work. We are getting graded, but if people speaking can put them on when they talk, that would be appreciated. Thank you. Everyone.
We possibly are.
is it, if you press it, does it cut the other person out when you talk?
I don't think so.
Can you hear me in that gallery? Good, thank you very much. We're just debating the quarter review. We had a move and a seconder, and we have some discussion. Any more discussion on this particular motion? No, I'll put the motion. All in favour? Aye. Those against? Declare it carried. The next one is on page 83, 8.1.3. Delivery Programme Quarterly Progress Update Report, 1st of October to the 31st of December 2025. And the recommendation is from staff. The council notes for the information the Quarterly Progress Update Report, 1st of October to 31st of December 2025, on the implementation of the Leeton Shire Council Delivery Programme, 2005-2029. Do I have any mover? I've moved Councillor Wright, seconded by Councillor. Any discussion? I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? I declare it as carried. The next item is on page 85. 8.1.4, Leeton Association of Community Builders, Wattle Hill Community Centre, request for financial assistance on page 85 of your agenda. The recommendation is from staff that one, lends Leeton Association of Community Builders Incorporation, LAC-B, the sum of $200,000 to be repaid to council over a period of 10 years under terms and conditions to be determined by council to enable completion of the stage 1 works of the Wattle Hill Community Centre. And 2, authorise the general manager and the mayor to negotiate and execute the loan agreement and any association documentation required. Do I have a mover and a seconder? I have a mover by Councillor Wright, second by Councillor Kidd. Any discussion?
The Mayor, it's my motion.
Yeah, you can speak for the motion. You can speak for the motion, then you have right of
I'd
motion.
just like to confirm, Mr. Mayor, through you to the GM, I'm expecting, or perhaps to others. Oh, is this better? Is that working?
Just big voice, I think.
All right, big voice. I just want to confirm that. Oh my God. We have discussed in other forums about the possible technical options we have for contracts in this eventuality of lending money. I suppose I definitely trust the general manager and the mayor to execute that process correctly. I do just note that we did seem to have a consensus that robust requirements for recouping the money should the direction of the project change significantly, and so that, you know, if, for example, if they were to sell the property, that we would recoup our lending first, and that we had some kind of say in that. So I'm not sure, I'm not an expert in finances, Mr. Mayor, but I'm I'm just hoping that the general manager will reassure us all that that's possible. And perhaps the director of finance can also weigh in.
Is that a question?
Yes, here's a question. I'm asking a question.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Absolutely, councillor. We will do everything that we possibly could do legally to make sure that council's loan is protected. That said, if the organisation was to continue and not fold, there's still always the risk that they might not be able to pay back everything in time, because at this point in time, there is no concrete regular income coming in. It's all part of a plan, and sometimes to get a plan happening, you need to have some support to push it forward. So it's like a chicken and egg situation. But I just want to alert councillors, there's always a risk. Certainly in the legal agreement with the organisation, we would make sure to protect council's loan through some sort of arrangement with the value of their asset. Currently, they do not own the asset.
Yes, so that's what I'm getting at, is that I understand that we don't have guarantees about the income, and I think that considering how much we spend on other things in the town that are cultural and relatively insubstantial but very important to people, this is a relatively low amount to try and do something really important for the community, for the most vulnerable in our community.
Okay.
So I do support it, but I also just want to make sure that if big amounts of money are happening again for some reason, that we have first bite of the cherry, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay, that's all right. You talked to the motion. I saw a few hands go up. I'll just go through the procedure of anybody who wants to speak against the motion. Anybody against the motion? Councillor Tynan.
This project has strong social merit and clear community benefits. However, the financial risks are significant, especially given council's own deteriorating financial position, which is reiterated in the QBR and also manifest in the work of the FSAC. Is that loud enough? The key question in this motion is not whether the centre is worthwhile. It is whether the LACB can realistically repay a loan and operate the centre sustainably. I contend that council is not financially sustainable, as stated in the QBR, and should not be extending loans or donations of $200,000 from a reserve of $255,000. That the LACB has no reliable income stream to service the loan, meaning a loan is high risk and may never be repaid, and council would likely end up writing off the debt. That a donation of $200,000 is unrecoverable and would materially worsen council's financial position. Finally, a loan or donation is not aligned with council's financial sustainability review. Considering this, option 3 is the desirable option. It is much lower financial exposure for council. A $50,000 loan is more serviceable than a $200,000 loan or donation. It preserves most of the land development reserve. It limits council's downside risk. It avoids a large cash outflow during a period of financial stress. Council can provide immediate support without overcommitting. A $50,000 loan may allow the LACB to complete critical short-term works, keep the builder engaged, prevent the project from stalling completely. Simply, it buys time without council underwriting the entire project. It also encourages the LACB to continue seeking external funding. Because council is not providing the full amount, the LACB must continue applying for grants, seek philanthropic or NGO partners, and build a sustainable funding model. This avoids creating dependency on council. There's also a lower repayment risk. It's more realistic the LACB could repay $50,000. It's easier to structure with flexible terms and less catastrophic if default occurs. Option 3 becomes more financially prudent when reframed as a $50,000 loan rather than a $200,000 commitment. It limits council's exposure and all those other issues. However, I acknowledge it carries 2 major uncertainties. Will $50,000 actually move the project forward? If not, the loan may achieve nothing except delay the inevitable. Will the LACB return seeking more money? If so, council may be pressured into a larger commitment.
All right, that's speaking against the motion. Speaking for the motion, Councillor Mayton.
Yep. Look, I'd like to speak in support of the motion. The project is already well advanced with the $250,000 that they've received in New South Wales government funding. And I think the additional funding request kind of reflects industry-wide cost increases. Without the council support, the facility remains incomplete and it delays vital social, educational and wellbeing services for the Wattle Hill community. Given the remoteness of Wattle Hill, I consider it an outlying village that does not have the same access to supports and services as residents living in town. Some residents may not have access to a car and there is no public transport servicing the area. Even the weather, whether it's extreme heat, heavy rain, it can impact people's ability to travel to important appointments and services. So for many, getting into town, it's not guaranteed. Access to these services should not be considered a luxury or nice to have. They are necessary services that everyone should have reasonable access to, regardless of where they live. So for those reasons, I support the motion.
All right, another speaker against the motion?
I'm going to speak, Mr. Mayor, and I'm not sure if it's
Speaking against the motion?
but I certainly have reservation. And my concern is, as Councillor Tynan had touched on, was their income and revenue source, and have all options been explored by the organisation themselves before they've come to us, which sometimes we can be seen as, I guess, a solution to problems. I understand. I do not doubt the integrity of the incorporated body and their intentions. And knowing most of the people, I wholeheartedly support that part of it. My concern is the financial position to council. I was going to actually propose, I'm sorry, I only thought about this overnight, and I found $200,000 without a secure revenue source. A large loan with no guarantee, especially when we don't have a building at the end of it that they own. We're really allowing them to create the scene for their community group and to perform their services, but we don't actually have anything tangible should we need it, or an asset to fall back on that council has any opportunity to recoup. So in light of that, I probably do understand and probably option 3 sits more comfortably with where I'm at the moment, Mr. Mayor. May I ask though, is it, and I hope I haven't missed anything, would it be prudent to be able to defer it so we have actually representatives of this community to come and actually give us an update on where they're at and their longer term plan? Or are we delaying? I don't want to call.
I'll get some information. We did have Mr. Travis today talk to us before the meeting. The public forum.
Okay, I apologise.
That's one thing. The second thing is that we have a delay involved, but I've had 2 speakers for and 2 speakers against. And you have the right to reply, Councillor, right? Anybody else wants to speak on this item? There's no amendments? All right.
Speak in favour of it, Mr. Mayor, but I'd be happy to speak in favour of it, but that's probably all I need to say.
Yeah, look, I'll give Councillor Wright the right of reply, and then we'll go to a vote.
We are, as council, spending between $200,000 and $600,000 on cultural activities at the Roxy, establishing the Ripper project. We subsidise activities all around the Shire. I believe Councillor Madam is correct. She says we should treat Wattle Hill as an outlying village. It is the only outlying village in the Shire that does not have a community hall, that does not have a school. It is bereft of services. I take the points of the other councillors. It's not, it's risky, but I also think that there are other ways that we could have some certainty around our money in terms of writing into a contract, council, because the Association of Community Builders, they have written into their lease a a first option to purchase the property at a price, at a pre-renovations price, I believe less than $200,000. So I believe there was certainly scope in some kind of contractual arrangement for that value which exists in that option to be transferred to council in the event that where they're unable to pay back their loan.
That's a question.
The statement.
So,
That's my statement, and I'm fully confident in the abilities of the general manager to pursue that. So I again commend the motion to council, to my fellow.
So those in favour of the motion? Those against? I think it passed.
Both my name and corners.
Anybody else? Thank you, everybody. Moving on to page 107. Item 8.1.5, FSAC meeting minutes for 17th December 2025 on page 107 of the agenda. The recommendation is that council develop a principle-based framework to guide consideration of potential divestments and efficiency options, including public consultation. 2, actively considers the divestment of assets and reflects this approach in a relevant policy document where assets meet one or more of the following criteria. A, are not core business, especially if similar are already running by other associations. And or B, that could be run by not-for-profit organisations, businesses or individuals at a similar or superior standard or service. And or C, are redundant, obsolete. That is a recommendation from the FSAC committee. Do we have a mover?
I'll move it with an amendment, Mr. Mayor.
Moved by Councillor Kidd, second by, I saw another hand there.
Should we know what the amendment is first before somebody seconds it, or?
Yes.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, my amendment would be under point 2, second line, where assets meet one or more. I would change that to more than one of the following criteria.
Do everybody understand that part of the sentence?
No, maybe I'll just wait till it's typed up.
All right.
Mr. Mayor, you said that was the FSAC recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
I recall.
It's a staff recommendation.
Staff recommendation.
It's a staff recommendation
Thank you, General Manager. Staff recommendation.
based on the FSAC committee's recommendation.
Yeah, based on the recommendation. This, you got a question, have you?
I have something to say about the principles-based framework.
Oh, we'll just hang on for 2 seconds because we're just going to work out this amendment. Councillors like to see what the amendment is to this.
I think it's there, Mr. Mayor.
Is it what? Councillor Kidd, would like to expand on it?
I think it's quite simple, Mr. Mayor. It is what it says, and Meatloaf said it better. He said 2 out of 3 ain't bad, and I'm inclined to go with that. I don't think that one of these clauses in themselves, apart from maybe redundant or obsolete, is enough to close something down. Council, yes, we have to balance books and everything else, but there's a human component to all of this. We work for our community. We do what's best for our community. And I just think that the best way of doing that is to making sure that we don't just run roughshod over something just purely for an accounting bottom line.
Thank you, Councillor Kidd. Councillor Kidd explained that amendment as people understand the amendment. Would someone second his amendment? Second by Councillor Wright. So we have that in front of us.
Just to be precise, Mr. Mayor, it's not an amendment, it's actual motion.
Sorry.
Because
Right.
even though I know people have used
No,
the
you're right.
language, but it's not an amendment to a motion, it's now the motion.
Yes, that's right. Sorry.
That's all
That's
good?
exactly correct. That's right. So the motion is in front of you and it's been explained, the word has been changed. Second by councillor.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
I can't see that in front of me. Could someone just read that back?
All right, I'll do my best.
We'll take a photo and send it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Do you want to wait till you had the photo go, or do you want me to read it? I'll read it. Just in case people at home can't see it, or the people in the back there can't see it.
Yeah.
Right. The council developed a principle-based framework to guide consideration of potential divestment and efficiency options, including public consultation. 2, accurately considers the divestment of assets and reflects its approach in a relevant policy document where assets meet more than one of the following criteria. A, are not core business, especially if similar are already run by other associations, and or B, they could be run by not-for-profit business or individual or similar or superior standard of service, and C, are redundant, obsolete. Councillor Maiden, was that okay? No. Can't hear you, Councillor.
You're on mute.
Sorry, a bit tricky on the iPad. So just clarifying, because obviously I thank you and I have got the image, and thank you, Mr. Mayor, for reading that the change there was just in the part, just in 2, where it says more than one, or instead of one or more. Is that the major change?
The only change,
Yeah, that's fine. I was just making sure it's just that. Yeah. Okay. No worries. Thank you. I've got that clear.
All right. So we've had. Did you want to? Did you speak on the motion? You just put it forward, didn't you?
I put it forward with an explanation.
You got right. Anyone against that motion?
I'm not so much against it, but I.
Clarification.
I really want to know in more detail what the principle. Really like to know in more detail what the principle-based framework will entail. I did read in there what that was involved, but my concern with the principle-based framework as it is that it introduces non-financial value tests, which, with respect to Councillor Kidd, is entirely viable there or to consider. But what it does mean is that it could result in assets which really shouldn't be kept at all, remaining on the books, because it doesn't have a strong enough financial direction, which must be balanced clearly by a preformed principle-based framework. I would like more detail about what that principle-based framework looks like before I could confidently support this. So I support it, but I want more information about what the principle-based framework entails.
I can.
So through Mr. Mayor, at a very high level, the first key message is that councillors would have deep involvement in the development of the principles-based framework. So it's not like making this resolution or passing a resolution like this tonight that somebody else goes and does it and adopts it and implements it without coming back to you for full consideration and review. The second element is that while financial considerations are very important, management has suggested that we set up principle-based framework because councils also have community obligations, and that any decision around divestment shouldn't only be based on financial reasons, but also on what the other reasons are that might have to be considered for keeping something. So it's about broadening things so that we don't make reductionist decisions by only looking at financials, but we look at the full suite. But I reiterate, rest assured, it's all you're deciding tonight is, in principle, there'll be a framework, but I can assure you it will come back to you so that you understand and participate in creating that framework.
Clarification, okay? Good, thank you. All right, so we've got a motion on the books. Those in favour of the motion, we need, those against? Okay, carried. Thank you. Right, moving on to page 115, which is Capital Works update, Roxy Stage 2 report, February 2026, on page 115 of the agenda. The recommendation is that council notes for information the quarterly Capital Works update report, major projects as November 2025. Do I have a Councillor Kidd, second by Councillor Wright? Any discussion? Councillor Edwards?
Yes, I've just got a question in regards to the, I've just got a question in just regards to the estimated completion, which should be 30th of March 2026. How is that going along? Will it be, is that the estimate, is there a?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
It'll be completed?
Showing Region's component of the grant, yes, it'll be completed by the 31st of March. We have the flooring and the retractable seating for Roxy 2 going in next week. However, remember, we've been very fortunate to get additional grant funding from Sustainable Communities, and that part of the project that will be reported to you next time, we call it augmented stage 2. That'll extend the project, probably the build through till October, and then the actual setup of Ripper, which is not related to capital works, that goes through until December 2027.
Okay, so thank you, General Manager. Forgive me, Mr. Mayor. So the March 2026 date, will the space be usable then with the wooden flooring and the retractable seating?
Usable.
Just not for certain things, just will it be up to useful? Sorry.
The basic infrastructure will be in. It's more the Sustainable Communities funding gives us the opportunity to get to the, let's just say, the quality of certain features, like everything from the stage floor to the lighting and sound and whatnot. All of that will happen, and that doesn't impact use of the space. You'll find that both spaces, the main auditorium and Roxy 2, will work throughout. There might be periods of time where parts of the facility are closed down for a weekend or for up to 2 weeks while workers come in to finish a part of the project. But for all intents and purposes, the theatre will be operating throughout.
Thank you, General Manager. I just wanted that to be noted on.
Right, that was a question from Councillor Edwards. So any more discussion?
Mr. Mayor, part of those delays, Councillor Edwards, are also about tweaking, and that is syncing the main auditorium with Roxy 2 electronically and things like that. And again, that flows into sound, and that comes in time. Be functional, it'll have the stuff there, but it won't be at its full potential. It's a growing thing.
Thank you, Councillor Kidd. So will people for the motion? All right, those against? Carry. Thank you. Next item, 8.1.7, unconfirmed minutes of the notes from Roxy Advisory Committee, RAC, meeting held on 29th of January 2026 on page 115 of the agenda. Recommendation. Councillor Tyne?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to this. And that's quite sure.
Oh, there's nothing on the book, so you're moving a motion.
Yeah, I'd like to move a motion on this, that we delay discussion of this matter, given that the Roxy is such a hot potato in the community, so that all other councillors can participate in this debate.
What is your motion?
The motion is to delay this until a later date to have a full chamber of councillors.
Do you have a seconder? Councillor Edwin, and was that Councillor Maiden? I saw hand go up as well. Just seek clarification from the general manager. The point that you're laying out.
So through you, Mr. Mayor, if the motion is moved and seconded, it can be debated.
Later.
It can be debated on the understanding that we won't be able to execute contracts till the next council meeting next month,
Is that
after next month.
no problem?
Well, it is a problem because we've told the government that we're going to be doing this project from last month. So, but I'm happy to answer any questions that the councillors may have. If you feel there's a lack of clarity, I'm happy to try and answer those.
We've got a motion on the book.
A question, Mr Mayor, to the General Manager. Will that affect our acquittal of loans money?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, it does compromise the delivery date because we have until December 27. It's a hard deadline, and we've submitted to the government a program. They've only signed the program about 3 weeks ago, and we've submitted to them a program that they've signed up to. So by delaying any contracts, then I mean, at this point in time, council staff are proceeding with the project. These are the minutes of the Roxy Advisory Committee, which are for information. The next bit is an endorsement, and if council doesn't endorse that, we'll have to find another way using our existing procurement methods to keep the project moving.
All right, so there's been explain the ramifications of that particular motion on the books. So we've got a motion on the books moved by Councillor Tyne, seconded by Councillor Edwards. Do you have any debate on that particular?
Mr. Mayor, I think that if there's a motion and other councillors can't be present, then that's not relevant. I think we have a quorum, and we should vote on recommendation in front of us, in my opinion.
All right, so first of all, Councillor Tyne, can you speak to your motion, then we'll go back and forward with the debate.
The rationale behind this motion is that the topic of the Roxy is a hot potato in the community. Community elected 9 councillors, and I feel that this is a situation where all 9 councillors should be actively engaged in the discussions and happenings of the Roxy as an entity in the community. It's a significant entity, and I don't feel that the missing other councillors can provide as much insight as maybe they could into the debate to help us make a better decision.
Those speak against the motion, which is to delay. Councillor Morris.
I'm happy to speak against it, Mr. Mayor. This is the new motion now that's on the table. The first part of it is just receiving minutes from the meeting, which is fine. The second area is probably the one that the opportunity is here now to be asking any questions that we need a body of substance to be able to, as the agenda item says, to deliver a certain service. We have limited options available to us readily, and our committee discussed this at quite length. And it's been something, the Roxy's been a hot issue. It's not just this month. This has been a topic of discussion for a long, long time. And I think if people have had, there's been ample opportunity, if others in the community have had other ideas to put forward, that this organisation, RIPA, would be taking forward into the future. And there's been plenty of times to have that come forward to the forum and have it for discussion amongst the community and for us amongst as councillors. It would be ideal every time we have a motion on the table to have all 9 councillors available for every, 9 point of views to be put forward, but that is often is not the case. So I think as this motion is put forward this evening, I see no reason to delay not making a voting on it.
That was against the motion. Someone for the motion?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was speaking for the motion that Councillor Tynan has proposed. My concern is not so much with point 1, but with point 2 and having those discussions around who will be leading the Roxy Institute of Performing Arts. I feel that necessitates all the councillors to be here to have those discussions. I'm concerned, quite frankly, that this raised some red flags in my books with regards to governance concerns, in regards to procurement concerns, that the proper competitive process isn't in place. So I'd feel personally, and as a council, I'd feel more informed, better to do my duty than to have all the councils here to discuss that part of the motion, that issue. And that's why I support Councillor Tynan's.
All right, the second.
I'd like to speak against the motion, Mr. Mayor. If councillors aren't confident in the original recommendation, I think they can vote against it. I don't like the precedent that this sets, or the expectation this sets, that we can put forward motions that delay other motions every time we think the vote won't go the way we want it to go. And I think that there are so many opportunities for councillors to involve themselves in the deliberations that happen in committees and in other parts of council function, that it's not a good enough reason. And I mean, you could apply that reason to everything. And I think Councillor Morris is absolutely correct when she says this has been a hot potato for years. I mean, the renovations went for 6 years, they're still going. So I really don't think it's appropriate to single this motion out as somehow needing extra votes or something. I mean, it just doesn't make sense from a procedural point of view. And also, I don't think this will result in a commitment of an entire section of a budget to these 2 people and their project. It allows the council staff to procure contracts with these people, very well trusted people who we've trusted with a lot of other things to do with the Roxy, and had our trust vindicated, I will say. I work in education, so I'll say it's a semester by semester arrangement. There'll be a contract for the labour of certain people, and it doesn't mean that if council is not satisfied at a later date, that we can't shift and move and employ other people and pursue other goals. But whether it's with Catherine and Jake Spear or someone else, this money has to be spent. It is from a grant that has this specification in it, and we have a commitment to do it. So that's why I will be voting against the motion from Councillor Tynan.
Look, I've had 2 for and 2 against. I've got 2 other councillors here. Did those councillors want to say anything? Councillor or Councillor Maton?
Speak against, but balance is there at the moment.
We've debated the motion.
Yeah.
There's 2 for. We've had 2 against.
As you say, put the motion.
You can put it if you wish.
They put.
Right of reply, and then I can.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, you have a right to reply, right? So 2 things. You can say put the motion, and we'll go straight ahead, or you'll have a right to reply anyway. But I'm just asking these 2 other councillors.
Well, I can call for.
But I'm just extending that as mayor. I'm extending that to the other 2 councillors in case they want to say something. So last person was against. Anybody for the motion? Councillor Maiden, yes?
Look, I understand what the other councillors are saying in terms of, we could defer every time we have a meeting. I think the reason that I support Councillor Tynan is this is one of the most topical things that have come to council this term and even in the previous term. If we're out in the community, this is what people are talking about. This is what people come to me about. It's front and centre of mind. And for me, there's not enough detail in there as well. And yes, we do have people that do miss the meetings, but we're missing 2 of 9 tonight. It feels significant. So as such, I support Councillor Tynan.
All right, and the last one, sorry, Councillor Kidd, before we...
I will in that case, and that balances up the argument, Mr. I totally concur with what Councillor Morris said, and certainly fine with option 1, which is merely approving minutes. Knocking back part 2 shows a lack of support for potential proponents. We have people who would be keen to go. It also shows a lack of respect for the committee and the deliberations of the committee. Now, it is a large committee. It's very representative of the community. There's some new community members on there, as well as people that have been associated with Roxy for 40 or more years. Any councillor can come to those Roxy meetings and listen to the debate. And the debate was very vigorous on this. It was very thorough. And to Councillor Wright's credit, he came along. Just as Councillor Edwards, Councillor Tynan, you're most welcome to come as well. I think that contrary to what Councillor Tynan said, the motion would actually create reputational damage, both for council and the Roxy, and it loads the gun for opponents of the Roxy. It also puts the honouring of our grant conditions and therefore the money involved at risk. So I could not recommend the motion to councillors at all.
Thank you, Councillor Kidd. You're the right to reply.
So first of all, to address Councillor Wright's claim that this is about getting enough votes, I mean, that's fanciful, absolutely fanciful. This is about respecting the contribution that other councillors have with the community. I think it's inappropriate for us to make decisions on their behalf on such a hot topic and for them to have to go out to council and defend the decisions made. They should be a participant in the process, actively in that democratic process, especially on this topic. You can put this forward and you can try to stop any other motion you wanted, okay? It doesn't set a precedent. So my concern here is I support this motion clearly, but it's to give the other 2 councillors access and participation in the democracy so that when they go out to the community, they're fully informed as well.
Thank you for that. Just before I put the question.
For information, Mr. Mayor, the 2 councillors that aren't here tonight are both members of the committee.
Yeah, I noticed that. Thank you for that. Before I put the motion, I just want to ask the question of the General Manager. If this gets up or lapses, we'll have someone else moving up a motion.
Correct, Mr. Mayor. So once this decision's made, if it is not supported, then there's another motion forward.
All right, so we're all clear what we're going to vote then, right? Those in favour of Councillor Tynan's motion, put your hands up. Those against? I declare it lost. Is there another motion to be put forward?
Recommendation.
Yes,
I'd like to move that the recommendation be put forward as a motion.
As in the agenda? As in the
Recommendation number.
Yeah. As in the agenda for the report tonight.
As in the agenda. Page 7.
Do you have a seconder? Have a seconder, Councillor Kidd. Do you have any discussion?
No.
All right, so do you speak for the motion to start off with? Yeah, right. Councillor Wright.
Councillor Wright.
Did you want to say something before, or you want to leave it for the right reply at the end? I have two councillors who want to speak against the motion.
And I want to reassure members of the public as well. There has been a robust process, and if there were more options for arts, this is a very specialised area of expertise. It's going to be an institute of performing arts in a town of less than 12,000 people, and we're quite frankly, it's extraordinary that we have anyone putting anything forward of any worth. And as I said before, if we don't like where it's going, we have the right to withdraw the funding from that project and pursue something else. So I just don't see, there's really no risk. And I also reiterate that this group of people have made promises and kept them, exceeded them, surpassed them. And we have this amazing facility, extraordinarily well run. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do. And, there's no guarantees in life, but I'm pretty confident.
Yeah. Thank you, Councillor Wright. Someone to speak against the motion. Councillor Tynan.
My first quizzical thought on this document was, why did the RAC duplicate the phrase, "the venue will operate in new and exciting ways and be firmly positioned at the heart of the town," in a 3-sentence paragraph? That statement appeared twice at the very beginning. It's perplexing. Another thing to ponder is the $300,000 fundraising goal, page 120 at the final dot point. That has been a goal for quite some time now. I'm not sure how much of that has been raised today. Anyhow, this project is a classic example of strategic positioning and narrative framing. The report deliberately frames the Roxy as state heritage, multifunctional theatre, cinema, town hall, conference venue, tourist attraction, evacuation centre, all things to everyone. A centre for excellence for education, training and innovation, a community anchor that connects young and old and energises the CBD. This framing is not neutral. It is designed to elevate the Roxy above normal asset management scrutiny, position it as an essential community identity, shield it from FSAC style divestment criteria, and justify ongoing investments regardless of its financial return. This is a classic strategic asset narrative used to protect high-cost facilities from rationalisation. The RAC recommends negotiations with Catherine Herman and Jake Spear to lead the RIPA's establishment. This is a major governance red flag because it bypasses competitive procurement, it pre-selects individuals before a governance model is finalised, it relies on a subjective criteria, passion and commitment, it exposes council to probity risk, it may create perceptions of favouritism. Finally, there are no details about what will be negotiated. Council's uncritical view of this lack of detail from the RAC is deeply, deeply concerning. It speaks to me that council is saying, we don't know what we want yet, but we want them to do it. This places council in a weak negotiating position because the other party will define the terms. This is not the way to ensure the community gets value for money. And that again is deeply, deeply concerning. I'm going to finish, Mr. Mayor. Further, do you recall that Catherine Herman, representing RIPA, withdrew their expression of interest in managing the Roxy because they felt that RIPA did not have the level of expertise that Mill could offer? So we actually know nothing about the capacity of RIPA to manage the grand, fully activated vision for the Roxy, such that it does not become an increasing drain on council finances. But we do know that RIPA acknowledged their lack of expertise relative to Mill. Finally, councillors, we are being asked to accept council's recommendation without any other options being presented to us.
Thank you, Councillor Tynan. Speaker for the motion. Second speaker.
I'll speak to the motion, Mr. Mayor. Well, I don't know whether I've misunderstood the whole reason and purpose of our Roxy, but all those things and uses that were just identified is exactly how I see the intentions of the use of our Roxy Theatre for our community going forward. That is why we have gone through this whole process that has almost been going on for something like 10 years of going above and beyond to raise the money and make it available for all kinds of uses, for all the community use in, yes, all those ways and exciting ways that I'm not even aware of at this point in time. We have looked at other, we have the opportunity, no, I shouldn't say haven't looked, there has been opportunity for others who could establish this Roxy Institute of Performing Arts as a body to come forward and put their hand up. And that was identified earlier in the year. Nobody has come forward. We have two local representatives who are well respected within our community and have proven above and beyond their commitment to our Roxy, their dedication, their unselfish work and time and effort that they've put in to see this project through. We need somebody to establish this body to go forward and be a major part of our Roxy in its operation going forward. They are the obvious ones that I'm happy to support that are here, and they are happy to work with any other people in our community or segments that come forward. They are not a closed shop and they are there to come forward. As I said, this project has been a 10-year project. There has been ample time for anyone to think of other ideas, come forward, find substantiation in them and explore it. This committee, most of the members have been here a long time. We also have some new exciting members, community members who put their hands up to be involved in it. And it's refreshing to have their points of view going forward. I see no reason to delay and not approve the motion as it's set forward.
Thank you, Councillor Moritz. Anybody again? Councillor Edwards.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I hear a lot around this council chamber reputational risk. I actually feel like it'll be a reputational risk to council if we were to endorse this motion tonight. For this reason, council has procurement policies in place for a reason. They exist to ensure fairness, accountability and value for money for our ratepayers. The recommendation appears to ask us to bypass basically a competitive procurement process in favour of direct negotiations. Before council takes that step, there needs to be a lot of things clarified to councillors in order to support such a motion. First, how does this actually align with council's procurement policy? Secondly, would a competitive expression of interest or tender process not achieve this same outcome anyway? Perception of the decision, it's also, we've got to consider the perception of the decision we are making. Even if there are good reasons for direct negotiation, the committee expects council to handle public finance with a high degree of transparency and accountability. Also, I just want to note something else. The report indicates that up to a third of the RIPA grant component could potentially be used for project oversight services. That is actually a significant amount of public ratepayers' money, and I believe it warrants a clear, competitive and transparent procurement process. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Edwards. In the fairness of what I've been doing before, if I give the right reply, Councillor Wright, would the other two councillors want to say something? No, Councillor Madam, no. All right.
I'm happy to do if you short speaker, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor,
otherwise, Councillor.
all right. So you're right. We have had 2 for and 2 against, right? So you have the right reply.
Just to speed up proceedings tonight, I will take my right to reply and put the motion. My reply to the concerns raised is that RIPA couldn't raise that $300,000 or whatever you're referring to because it didn't exist. It really has, its existence has been delayed due to COVID. So, as has the renovation of the facility. So, I became aware of RIPA as a concept 2019, and before COVID happened, it was all full steam ahead. Catherine and others were getting grants left, right and centre, and the momentum was building. We had the Henry V as a big statement activity before the renovation started, and then of course the construction company went bankrupt, and COVID happened, and everything got delayed. Instead of being 1 or 2 years, it became 5 or 6 years. Now, after all that, the same people are still ready to go and ready to have a go. I'm not sure what Councillor Tynan meant when he mentioned that this might result in the Roxy being exempt from the divestment criteria. I hope that we would never be divesting of the Roxy. That would certainly be against the wishes of the community. So yeah, I fully commend this motion.
So everybody's quite clear what the motion is in front of us. You had a question.
I've got an unrelated question to the motion itself. It's just in regards to a matter within the minutes of the meeting that I'd like to raise.
I think,
Gentlemen, just to get a clarification. The notes do mention engaging a commercial design ops consultant for reception areas educational program delivery. Why is this necessary for a brand new facility? Surely that would have already been part of the initial design. And could the same outcome be achieved by internal staff? Where does that funding source come from? Is that already that extra funding?
asking for a clarification.
Clarification of the minutes. I just want to understand.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Happy to clarify. During stage one, we had to do significant value management. So that, in other words, we were unable to achieve the original full dream. But now that we have got the Sustainable Communities money, there is an ability to finish the product the way it was initially envisaged. And we also have the benefit of experience from how that space works or doesn't work. And so we're bringing in, looking to bring in experts. It's from the grant money. There's no government, there's no ratepayer money involved at all.
So taxpayers' money. Thank you.
Right, Edward, clarification. You've got a clarification, Councillor Edward, right?
I think I just say, Mr. Mayor, that this is a very small community, and expecting council staff to not only do everything they're already doing, a full program and management of the facility, and then create separately some kind of council-run arts development.
I take it as a comment.
Program. I really think it's unrealistic. It was always going to be someone outside of council doing that.
I take it as a councillors, debate for the chair, please. All right, so I'm going to put the motion. Everybody's clarifying the motion. Those in favour of the motion, say aye. Aye. Those against? I declare it carried.
Can I please request that my vote be recorded?
Councillor Edward would like to record his. And Councillor Tyne.
I'd like to record my vote for, please.
Record your vote for.
I think.
The implication of it.
All right, it's great to have robust debate. Very good. Thank you for your input, councillors. Right, next item is the draft motion submission to 2026 National General Assembly and page 149. The recommendation is, thank you very much, the general public, community, thank you. It should be all happy, those ones. Right, I'll read the recommendation to you that the council, do I have a loud voice? Yeah, loud voice, right. That council endorses the following motions for submissions for 2026 National General Assembly. 1, cybersecurity support for council. That this National General Assembly calls on the Australian Government to fund the establishment of a Shared Security Operations Centre, SOCs, for local council, including a management SIEM, capable of delivering through scalable regional models. Funding should support 24/7 monitoring option, rapid incident response, threat intelligence reporting, and secure Australian-based dog retention. The program should enable councils to adopt a tiered service level aligned to the risks and capacity and improve protection of sensitive community data and critical infrastructure, water, wastewater, and other essential services. Number 2, Pacific Australian Labor Utility, what we call PALM, Intergovernment Forum, that this National General Assembly calls on the Australian Government to formally set up an ongoing intergovernment PALM engagement forum consisting of at least the Department of Employment and Workplace Relations, DUA, the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, DFAT, Department of Home Affairs and Australian Border Force, Fair Work Ombudsman, Welcome Australia, and local government via our Australian local government forum to address issues and opportunities related to the PALM scheme. And number 3, Murray-Darling Basin representation by local government, that this National General Assembly calls on the Australian Government to permanently include local government representation by ALGA of the Murray-Darling Basin Ministry Council. Do you all understand that motion?
Do I have a move and a second for that? Moved by councillor Tynan, second by councillor Kidd. Do I have any discussion? Well, no discussion.
Just to congratulate the staff who've put these motions together after some thought bubbles from councillors. These are great motions. Mr. Mayor, if I may, perhaps the General Manager might like to speak to us on how the format of this conference will change. It'll be quite different to what we've done in the past. As a background, what we've done in the past is listen to hundreds of motions that essentially said exactly the same thing year after year after year. And whilst more important things that needed debating were perhaps put on the back burner, maybe if the General Manager could just expand on that.
I suspect the Alva board is trying to make the national conference more efficient by saying that motions that have been moved in the last 2 years can't be moved again. And also if something's already on their books as being championed, they're asking for it not to come through again, because that's just a lot of time repeating stuff. And what they have kept is a theme going. But at the end of the day, they've asked councils to make sure they submit motions that are through the lens of it'll be applicable across Australia. It's not just for your own neck of the woods. It's not even allowed to be just for your own state. It needs to be for local councils across Australia. But yes, they've asked us, unless it's new and delivers on the theme that they've put forward, they'd prefer that we didn't repeat stuff or regurgitate stuff from the last 2 years.
Thank you, gentlemen. I concur. I think those councillors who went to conferences, I mean, Councillor Tynan, Councillor Wright and Councillor Morris, who've gone before to these workshop conferences, it takes up a lot of this information and we don't get through all the motions and then miss out at the end. So it's an idea to get to the end of it. So that was discussion. I'll put the motion. All in favour? Those again? I declare it carried. Thank you very much. Moving on, we've got 2 items there. Are you happy, council, to put the 2 together? Investment report December and one for January?
Yes.
All right, good. No, I need a move a second for that.
I'll move.
Good. Move a second. Good, right. Yeah. So now the 2 recommendations. Someone move a second that, please.
I had a mover. I was moving.
Good mover. Second it. Right.
Edwards?
That we combined.
Yeah.
Leaving the motion in the first place, accept both recommendations.
Yeah. All right, good. Any debate? Questions? I'll put the motion. All in favour? Aye. Okay, carried. Thank you very much. Art Deco Festival post-event report, page 2000. Oh, no. 216, sorry.
Isn't 8.1.11 the Leeton Golf Course next?
Well done. Thank you very much.
Is golf.
It's okay. Half the time. I've been missing out on golf course for you at the time. I will make sure. Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. Item 8.1.11. Leeton Golf Course update 1st July 2025 to 31st December 2025. Recommendation is, I read it out. The council notes for information, the update on the operation of the Leeton Golf Club course, including the income and expenditure report for the period of 1st July 2025 for 31st of December 2025. Do I have a move and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Tynan, second by Councillor Morris. Any discussion? Mr. Tynan?
A statement comment. I'd like to note that had council increased green fees to market rates, a healthy end of year position would have realised in 24-25. I look forward to the Leeton Golf Course becoming a financially sustainable entity in the very near future.
Thank you, Councillor Tynan, for that comment. Any comments? Councillor Morris.
Mr Mayor, mine would just, yes, it's a pleasing result. It's certainly heading in the direction that we've all been directing it to. And yes, I do see that at some stage in the future that, yes, things should cover themselves.
Yeah,
So it does give us that opportunity, yes, to have a good look at when we are going through our fees and charges each year up for adoption.
Yeah. Councillor Kidd.
It's also worth noting that the deficit support for the Leeton Golf Course is significantly below what was forecast. It's about a quarter. I would commend both council, the golf club and the volunteers for their efforts. Also note that the amount of games rounds have gone up. I'd love to see that translate into more members, but that seems to be sitting fairly stable. And these figures really don't include the period where the clubhouse is functioning.
Good point.
So I suspect that the next 6 months will see a significant improvement there on what is already a good result.
I concur that it's great to see that Shire stepped in and helped out, and it looks like they're on the way, and it's good for the community, the volunteers, and it's all going the right direction. So that's really great. Great to see for the community and those people involved. Now we had a move and a seconder. We had discussion. I'll put the motion. Those in favour? All right. Those against? No, good. Right. Moving on to item 8.1.12. 2025 Art Deco Festival Post-Event Report, page 2016. Recommendation reads, the council received information for the 2025 Australian Art Deco Festival, Leeton Post-Event Report, and notes that the 2026 event date has been scheduled to be held on the 10th to the 12th of July 2026. Do I have a move in a second now?
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor. The 10th to the 12th is slightly different to what I've got.
All right. Well,
mine's got 11 to 13.
So actually, I've just read a recommendation. There's no motion on it, so we can muck around with that. The date.
You can clarify that, Mr. Mayor. The 11th to the 13th was the Art Deco Festival that happened last year. The 10th to the 12th is noting the dates next year.
That's 216.
Yeah. Is that okay, Councillor Kidd?
Yes.
So the staff recommendation in front of me, we all agree with. Do I have a move and a second for that? Councillor Tyne and Councillor Kidd. Thank you. Any discussion? Councillor Tyne.
This is just a question.
Yeah.
For information, maybe for people doing group finance. It notes that page 222, there are about 4,000 attendees, and that number was gotten through technological means. The calculation for the economic benefit is very dependent upon the number of attendees. And my question is about, I'm not sure I can actually remember a density of people of about 4,000 people wandering through town. I live very close to the town centre, and I'm just wondering, how accurate is that 4,000? Because in my head, it's actually significantly lower, which would mean that the economic benefit will have been significantly overestimated.
That's a question of staff or comment? A question or comment?
Director of Finance, not the appropriate person for this. Happy to answer it. So all I can say is that with we actually ticket events for the Art Deco Festival. So some of it's through the ticketing, and some even free events are ticketed in some situations. They also have the ability, and I don't know the exact name of this electronic facility, but it collects mobile phone numbers and then puts them together. So those are the counting regimes. Of course, it's not an exact science, but what we then do is take the numbers that have been counted and put it through that economic trickle-down effect calculator. So the numbers given to you are given in good faith. I'm happy to get those numbers tested in future, but the main message behind it is that it's these sorts of events that bring people from out of town to occupy our hotels, eat at our restaurants, buy things in our shops. So from that perspective, I think you can see from the accommodation stats themselves that we have very high occupancy rates over the weekend and people have booked for next year already.
Thank you, Jan. It was the other thing I was just going to bring up about this is that it's basically if we had 4,000 people, 708 more tickets, it's a hit rate of 18%. What can we do to increase it from 18% to maybe 25 or 30%? That's all.
Comment.
And well, I respond to the comment. I agree with you, councillor, and we have put to the staff that manage the event that we need to move into a growth phase to take this from being, we don't just want another local event in Leeton with a couple of hundred people from coming out of town. Our aim is to eventually get this to being like the Napier Art Deco Festival where thousands come to town. So it's deemed to be a destinational event, but you're absolutely right. We need to look at what will it take to take it up a notch. Yeah.
Thank you. I had a move in a second now. We had discussions. Any more discussions?
Just that I agree with Councillor Tynan. I mean, the telephone monitoring is dodgy at best. I mean, you might have 2 adults with 4 kids, so there's 6 people. So there's all sorts of ways that works. Some people walk around with two devices in their pockets, but it's the best one that we've got at the moment, along with the ticketing. And it's a great event.
Mr. Mayor, I just comment that I believe if we're using the same methodology at every event, that we can at least compare accurately. So I think it's important to continue to do what you've been doing. Also, just a comment that there are regularly thousands of people at things like the Chill and Grill, and it's an underestimated crowd. Thousands of people can walk through the centre of town and you won't feel like thousands. It might feel like dozens, but it's actually a lot.
I think the background of Art Deco, correct me if I'm wrong, is that a while ago there was grant money out to put forward a destination in June sometime for school holidays, and we latched onto that grant. And Art Deco, we did try Art Deco 2 or 3 times before the actual one now, but I think it's a great festival. It's something we can hang a hat on. Yes, we should grow it. Definitely should grow it. The good hardworking people out there. So yes.
It's definitely a point of difference, and what's really key when it comes to the economic analysis is typically the kind of tourists that come to an Art Deco event have high discretionary income.
Yeah.
So their daily spend would be significantly more than a tourist going to some sort of
You're on camera now.
Just going to a normal show or something. We do find the cohort has much more money to spend than anyone. Yep.
Okay, so Carl, you had your hand up.
One final question. Slightly to the Director of Finance. It notes that there's about $30,000 contribution from council. Could I just be told just generally, what that bought us? What did people use that for?
There's no question on notice.
Yes, it would be a good practice.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, the breakdown of the expenditure is in the report. On page 2 to 8. Find it. And that shows exactly what the funds have been spent on. So just.
That's the pie chart, isn't
it? Yes. So the page 2 to 8 has got all the income and all the expenditure.
Efficient, Councillor Tynan?
Yeah, I can see the council cash contribution. I'm just curious to know what was actually used to buy what with that money, that's all.
All the money received
It's in the second.
is down below. So it's everything from marketing. I think most of the marketing comes from Destination New South Wales currently because of the triennial funding. So in this particular year, they made the announcement after the event. So it might have been that council's share, generally speaking, council's money will be used right at the end for anything else that hasn't been covered through all the other opportunities.
That's the answer I was looking for.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, we had a move in a second there. We had a bit of discussion on there. So I might put the motion. All in favour? All right, those against? Okay, it's carried. Thank you very much, councillors. Moving on to the minutes. Ramjo, yeah? Is it?
Ahead.
Oh, sorry, everybody. Sorry.
How could we skip this motion when we've got
A singer in our midst.
a council of our own on page 252?
Sorry. Item 8.1.13, 2025 Chill and Grill post-event report, page 247. Recommendation is, I'll read it for you. The council receives for information the 2025 Leeton Chill and Grill post-event report. Note that 2026 event has been set for Saturday, the 24th October 2026, and acknowledge the sponsor and volunteers who contribute to the success of this event. Have we moved in a second now?
I think we need
Moved by Councillor Kidd, second by Councillor Edwards. Thank you. Any discussion?
Might I say that this is one that, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is an event where monitoring of electronic devices is probably a bit more accurate in that it's also a ticketed event as well.
Not accurate.
So you could use that as a baseline. Yes, maybe we do get some special guests
Bracelets.
from Tumbarumba.
Councillor Edwards.
I'd just like to make a comment about the event. It's a fantastic event. I want to thank all the staff and performers involved. And yes, I love going, and you can plainly see on one of the pages in the report that I do like to really get involved and, eat, maybe have a couple of drinks. I better not say that, sorry. But yeah, it's a fun night. I really recommend everyone in Leeton to go this year. It's a great night. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Edwards. I remember during your election campaign having a minister for evening entertainment.
Economy.
Right? All right, so we've had the discussion. All those favour? Aye. I declare it carried. Thank you. I apologise, I think I'm too far. All right, final item for general business this evening is item 8.1.14, minutes for Ramjo meeting, 29th October 2026. Recommendation is that council notes the information, the minutes for Ramjo meeting held on Wednesday, 29th October and Friday, 28th November 2026 and endorsed fully. We've got two reports there. Number one, council 5K investment to support the Murray.
That's a D, Murray Darling Basin.
Yeah, that's what the
Sorry.
typo. That was a typo. I knew it was a typo.
Sorry.
Basin. Consultation by Ramjo, and council redirects the future LGP rebate back for Ramjo. Now we're moving a second now. Moved by Councillor Morris, second by Councillor Kidd. Any discussion? Question.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just quickly, just to reiterate and re-jog my memory, where was the, don't worry, the 5,000 comes on the current voted consultant fees, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that all good. Thank you.
Any discussion? Councillor Kidd?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to put the general manager on the spot again. Could she, as the chair of Ramjo's water committee, and we all love water here, I'd just love to know where we're up to in that space. Is there any initiatives coming forward?
So, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So with the arrival of the Murray-Darling Basin Plan Mark II review, which commenced a couple of weeks ago, Ramjo is getting in boots and all. We've recruited the services of Claire Miller. Claire Miller was previously the CEO of New South Wales Irrigators, and before that very involved with the Victorian government in the water space as well, highly knowledgeable, and it was only confirmed this week that she was a successful person to support us. We also have the Murray-Darling Basin CEO, or Murray-Darling Basin Authority CEO and Chair coming to visit us next week. And then Ramjo will have a second opportunity with them towards the end of the month. So there's only a 12 or so week window to get our feedback in. So it's going to require concentrated effort. But anyway, we will engage in good faith, and they've been they seem to be saying all the right things in terms of good faith engagement at the moment. So let's hope that gets delivered on the other end.
Thank you for that.
Also,
Best of luck.
yeah, our chair is very hardworking, looking after this particular portfolio
Yeah.
under Ramjo. Thank you very much for all your hard work. And hopefully we'll get some sort of understanding from them. Thank you. So we had to move in a second.
Not yet.
What?
We need a move in a second.
I haven't. I had to move in a second.
No, well, Boston wanted to, so.
I don't know.
Right, so we move councillor Kidd, second by councillor Edwards.
We already did have a movement second half. That's
I thought we did.
Do apologise.
Any discussion? No, for the motion? All in favour? Aye. Thank you very much. Right, thank you, councillors. We're going to move on to close the council. So thank you, councillors. It is now a recommendation that council enters into a closed session to discuss item 10.1 Yanko landfill remediation works tender and item 10.2 bulk fuel supply tender. These reports are confidential. In accordance with section 10A, bracket 2C, D, I, and 2Is of the Local Government Act 1993, as the report contained matters and information that would, if disclosed, confer commercial advantage on a person with whom the council is conducting or proposed to conduct business, and that the report relevant to these items be withheld for access to the media and public as required by section 11.2 of the Local Government Act 1993. Can I have a caller for moving a seconder? Morris and Tynan. Thank you. All in favour? Okay. Good. All right, thank you, Karen.